So I tell everyone that you should be reviewing what your inflow versus your outflow looks like, at least on a quarterly basis. Like you should be very familiar with what your expenses are versus your income. I'm a little obsessive, so I review that on a monthly basis, honestly, just because the economy that we're in, grocery prices are rising, everything is increasing in cost.
Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting show, the About That Water podcast, where we help the sandwich generation build strong financial habits so that they can spend money, talk about money, and enjoy their money. I'm your host, Anthony Weaver, and we have a great show today. We'll be talking with Wanda Belle, who is a financial wellness coach dedicated to helping individuals take control of their finances and overcome their past money mistakes. And that's ultimately what we're going to be talking about today, is talking about how to get through some of those past money mistakes, as well as dealing with your life with money is unpredictable. So how you doing today, Wanda?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm making it. At the time of this recording, the holidays coming around and it's emotionally drained with everything.
It's been a hard year. It's definitely been a hard year. I feel like the holidays this year doesn't look anything like anything we've experienced before. So I think a lot of us are just trying to take it one step at a time, one day at a time.
Yeah. And you've done recently a workshop talking about people getting ready for really strategizing their finances in the best way possible. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So yeah, I actually did a workshop I do workshops a lot.
Yes.
So I hosted like a free kind of webinar, like a workshop that was called Reset Your Budget Before the Holidays. And it was literally all about just taking a step back before we were in the throes of just like Thanksgiving and Christmas, taking a step back and evaluating our finances and evaluating how we want the holiday season to look before we just start spending. So I'm trying to do more of those webinars, workshops more often as my schedule allows it. But yeah, it was just kind of a quick just moment for the audience to just get familiar with thinking a little bit more intentional about where their money was going, like before like Black Friday shopping starts and things like that. So it went really well, and all attendees walked away with kind of like a one pager of just different things that they could put in place like today. So I think it was well received, pretty sure.
Okay. What is something that the listener could put in place today to really align their finances?
So I tell everyone that you should be reviewing what your inflow versus your outflow looks like, at least on a quarterly basis. Like you should be very familiar with what your expenses are versus your income. I'm a little obsessive, so I review that on a monthly basis, honestly, just because the economy that we're in, grocery prices are rising, everything is increasing in cost. And so I would just like to take a look. I like to take a look at, how much am I paying for my cell phone bill, my gas bill, like insurance versus the money that I am bringing in. And if it looks a little backwards, that's when we need to start being creative about finding a way to decrease those expenses while also trying to increase our income too. So the one thing that anybody can do like right now is just review what you have been spending versus what your income is. And if you need a good place to start, just take a look at your last bank statement. Just take a look at your last bank statement, literally print it out, highlight what your expenses whether they were fixed or variable, and then compare that to your income. And that will give you kind of a roadmap of where your money is actually going. And you can decide, like, is this where I want my money to go? And if the answer is no, then you got to make some changes for sure.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people now are dealing with the kids as well. And it's like, that is such a variable expense when it comes to your budget. And they always want something. Or you might be decided like, oh man, they just threw up on all their clothes right now. Like, I don't have time to go wash them. I have to go either buy new ones, or they're not going on this trip and then be like, the pariah of their classroom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that I've been there. I mean, I'm not there anymore because my child is no longer a kid. When he was smaller, and we dealt with just limited funds. I wasn't making a lot of money, and I was trying my best just to take care of him as best I could. Those were times where I really had to get creative. There were a lot of outfits that he had that were secondhand. They were hand me downs from family and friends. My baby didn't know. He
Right.
didn't know. To him, it was a new outfit.
Right.
But what he didn't know is that we didn't go to the store. We went, we got things from friends. And I also think that it's important for our children to understand the value of money. And even at a young age, like when my son was like 7, 8 years old, I would explain to him why we weren't able to do some of the things that he just wanted to do. And I would put it into terms that he could understand. But I think that that allowed him to just see, number one, how important it is to be able to increase your income, of course, over
Right.
time. But I think it also allowed him to see, what things were wants versus needs. And it wasn't, I don't like to tell my child no even now without giving him a reason as to why I'm saying no. And a lot of times I wouldn't be giving him a no, I would be giving him a not right now. And sometimes, depending on the season that we're in, we have to be able to tell our children, like, not right now, because we have other things that take precedent. And it's hard, especially with the holidays. It's so hard when you have little kids and they're looking forward to like Christmas or when their birthdays are coming. But trying to find cheaper alternatives is very important, especially if you're in a situation where you just have to you got to get ahead of your finances. You might need to just save some money if you can. Trying to, like, I don't know, like giving them more of a reason instead of just like a no has always
Hmm.
worked in my favor. To the point where now, like, even when my son wants to do something, he thinks about it a lot. He thinks about it in depth, whether or not it's something like, do I need this? Do I want this? What's the opportunity cost of this? Which is
Right.
cool to see because those are things that I taught him when he was really small.
Yeah. Can you talk about the opportunity cost? I mean, because I'm thinking also he'd probably be like, well, what would mom say? Like,
Oh, yes, all the time. So I'll give you an example. So he has a birthday coming up, and I'm taking him and all his friends to dinner. Tradition. He has spent the last, oh my God, I don't know how many birthdays with the same friends. And it's literally tradition. They all come to my house, and I always take them out to dinner. And so a couple days ago, he asked me if one more person could come. And he was like, no, because if they come, then we're going to be spending like $700 total because it's a lot of people. And I
gotcha.
was like, boy, this is your birthday, but I love what you did there. I love what you did there, but it's
Hmm.
also your birthday. Like, let me worry about that. Like, you want your friends there, we're gonna have the same birthday dinner that we always have. But thinking about just opportunity costs is really thinking about, number one, is this worth what I'm gonna be spending? And am I gonna get the most out of this when I spend this money? Like, is this an impulse? Like, is this something that I want, but I don't necessarily need? Just thinking about like what goes into the cost of something will help you kind of change your mindset in the way that you view expenses and how you really think about just wanting to take care of your money.
Yeah, that gets you to think about like the conversations. Obviously, they have to be deep conversations around that time frame because it's like at the end of the day, do you really regret your purchases? Like,
I used to be an impulse buyer.
really?
I was an emotional buyer. Whenever I was going through something,
Hmm.
I'm gonna online shop. We're gonna buy something. And then what I learned over time is the gratification it wasn't what I wanted it to be. Like, it would pass so quickly. And
Hmm.
then I would feel very regretful about the things that I would buy. And so I had to kind of force myself out of that mindset of like impulse shopping because a lot of us do that.
Yeah.
A lot of us do that, and then we end up regretting it, especially when we know that the money could have gone elsewhere to something that's a lot more important.
Like some people say, well, you could have just invested that money into Apple stock or something like that.
Don't get me started. I
Okay.
made so many. I could have made so many investments if I had gotten my life together earlier. But it's fine. We're good now. We're great.
Okay.
But I could have started a long, like much sooner.
But
That's
what
fine.
is it that would kind of help us control our emotions on our spending, like when we get to that moment? Because it's usually called halt, which is when we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And that's usually when we spend the most.
Yeah, for sure. What helped me, honestly, I removed the triggers that supported my impulses. So for me, like I said, online spending has been something that I did a lot when I was just emotional, hungry, like all of that, all of those emotions. I'm gonna buy something.
Hmm.
I literally, at one point in time, when I was really trying to get serious about just minimizing my expenses, I got rid of every app
Wow.
that was to some store, whether it was Fashion Nova had me in a chokehold for a minute. I got rid of every app that was a store app. I unsubscribed from emails from stores because that, like, you don't realize just how much we give in to those promotions until you don't see them anymore.
Right.
Uh, and then the other thing that I did, I deactivated my card, my bank card on different things to control myself because it was just very convenient if I went to a website and my card was already stored on the website and I could just click purchase. It was way too convenient. So I had to put like boundaries in place to force myself to like stop doing it. And then I was also at one point, just because of how much I worked, I worked a lot. Um, and I just had very long days. And so I was like eating out a lot. I was spending a lot of money on just eating out on Uber Eats and stuff like that. And to combat that, I decided to really like get in the habit of meal prepping. Like I would go to the grocery store on a Saturday and then I would plan out kind of what my meals are going to look like for that, like the next week. And
What, the
Sunday,
whole week? Because I'm like, some leftovers don't last till like
well, no,
maybe Tuesday. I'm like,
I'm not saying cook everything.
oh,
I would
okay,
plan
okay,
it out. I would plan it out. So typically, literally after this interview, I'm going to the grocery store because
okay.
it's Saturday and it's my routine. Okay. So what I do is I go to the grocery store. I
Mhm.
always shop my pantry first. I shop my pantry and my fridge first to see what ingredients I already have, and I build meals around that. And so I literally just write out the meals that I want to have for the week.
Got you.
And since I'm pretty boring and routine, I tend to eat the same thing and I don't eat meat.
We listen and we don't judge. I mean, we got you.
I
Right.
appreciate it. But because of that, I can buy certain things that are going to last me for multiple meals. And so Sundays is when I cook, I juice, and I just plan for the week. So I'll make a meal on Sunday that'll last me Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But then by Tuesday, I already have it written out in my notes app what the next set of meals are going to be. And so like typically Monday night, I'll start like seasoning things and stuff like that. I'm very intentional about the way that I meal prep because I realized that that was helping me cut down on my food expense because I was spending a lot of money eating out at one time. Not proud of it. My weight.
Now, what do you consider a lot of money? Because some people, I mean, at this day and age, like with this inflation, I mean, I've heard some people spend about 1,200 every 2 weeks. Just so you know.
Okay, I don't feel bad anymore. I wasn't
Okay.
doing that. But I was still spending a lot more than I should, especially because I cook. It's like I'm just going through something. But I got that under control because again, when I got serious about wanting to take care of my money and wanting to cut my expenses, I literally, like I said in the beginning, I started with my bank statement and I was embarrassed when I first printed it out and I was literally highlighting the things that I spent money on that weren't necessarily necessities. And it was so much of just like eating out, wine, online shopping. It was a mess. And I had to like figure out a way to cut those costs. Otherwise, I knew I wasn't going to get ahead.
That makes sense. Yeah, because we always got I think they mentioned it, our McDonald's fix. It's not saying McDonald's itself, but like our fix. You know what I'm saying? When you go out, like, Chick-fil-A is on the way home. He's going to get that smoothie right quick and get a
So,
number 2. I'm sorry.
and here's the thing. The problem with me, I'm like a food snob. So I don't eat a lot of fast food because I don't eat meat. And so I have one favorite restaurant that I could eat.
We don't have to say it online because we don't want to.
I would eat it every day if I could.
Okay.
It's not close to my house, but it delivers. They deliver for a fee. Like I have to pay like more for them to deliver. I would get that way too often. And I'm talking like just to get one meal because of where it is. And I like to pay for like priority.
Yeah.
I would be spending like $45 every time.
Well, we know you like, exclusivity and,
I just like really good food. I like really good food, but that's not something that anyone should be doing, especially if you're trying to live by a budget. We have to consider like what are things that I can cut, and what are ways where I can just be more intentional and not like lazy, because I think sometimes people don't understand how much we're spending just because we're being a little lazy.
Yeah. But honestly, being lazy is expensive.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, like if you don't want to wash your clothes, you can pay somebody to wash your clothes.
Now, look, I'll pay someone to clean my house.
Right.
But I'm not going to pay somebody to wash my clothes. That's a little too much.
There's a service for everything.
There is a service for everything.
If you don't want to wash your car, it's a mobile detailer.
I have one.
All right. See, if you don't want to fix your car, it's a mobile mechanic.
Yeah, I have one. I literally have one. His name's Miguel.
Okay. I do everything myself. Geez, I feel so out of touch.
I'm just a girl.
Okay.
Who is washing a car and who is fixing a car?
Right.
No.
But also, I mean, if you look at it, even with the financial services, if you don't want to learn how to fix your own credit, you'll pay somebody to help you with your credit. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone should be paying anyone to fix their credit now. Like, we can do these things ourselves, but also fixing your credit, it's more about you have to change your mindset and change your financial habits first.
If you see your face, like for those of you who are watching audio, you need to watch the video because
it drives me crazy, because when I first opened my business, credit education was a huge piece of my business, and I quickly took it away because what I realized was, I still educate my clients on, the do's and don'ts of credit, but we take a look at just the full picture of your finances. But in the beginning, the early years of Belle Financial Services, what I realized is a lot of people were really looking for quick fixes, and there's so much misinformation around credit. And so that was a battle that I was constantly fighting. It's like there's so much misinformation and so many things that are just not accurate about a personal credit, and it was like a tug of war. So now we focus more on the holistic view of your whole financial profile, with not just focusing on credit, but everything under the sun. So yeah, I feel strongly about the whole fix your credit thing.
it's fair. Because I still get messages too about certain tips and tricks, and I'm like, well, they sold you to what, but they didn't tell you the how, and also how long, and also they doing everything in a bubble, especially when it comes to home buying properties, or like, hey, you can flip this, you can buy this now. And I was like, first off, depends on when you buy at top of the market. What about the negotiating part of the property? Are you actually coming down on price, or are you actually buying it at the price that they said it's going to be? Then it's location. Then on top of that, the interest rates also went up, which means that your property now, you can't sell at the same price because it's now at a higher interest rate. So all this stuff
So,
changes
yes. And
that they don't talk about.
I don't think a lot of people understand that too. Like, even when I first became a homeowner, there were things that, now, granted, I have zero regrets about buying my home, especially when I did. Because I bought this home that I'm in now, I bought it in 2020. So I bought it right when interest rates were on the low. I got a great conventional loan. And then I was able to refinance before the 2 year mark. And the only reason I refinanced was not necessarily to lower the interest rate because I already had a great interest rate, but I had personal mortgage insurance on the
Mm,
loan. And so I knew the value of the home had increased a lot um, in that time frame. So I was able to refinance and get that PMI knocked off. But even in becoming a homeowner, there were so many things that I didn't know. We weren't really taught, I guess, that were all like learning experiences for me because there's a lot of information out there
mhm.
as it relates to the home buying journey, credit, personal finance in general. And that's why I think it's so important for us to educate ourselves as much as possible. And if you need help, of course, like
Yeah,
get a trusted financial coach or planner. Don't just go on the internet on TikTok looking up information from people that you don't know.
right. Because again, this is just a conversation between colleagues. And if you need a professional, please make sure you talk to one.
Talk
Um,
to a professional.
yes,
Don't
that's
talk to somebody just based on their viewer count.
right. Oh, yeah, that part. Just because they're popular doesn't mean they're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're going to slide to the features here and talk a little bit about, what do you plan on your future? Like, what is a future milestone that you're super excited about that you haven't shared publicly yet?
Oh, I gotta share something I haven't shared publicly. Okay. Future milestone. Is this a professional milestone, a personal milestone?
I'll leave it up to you.
Mm, a personal milestone that I'm really looking forward to is I'm going to Japan soon.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that is something that I've always been very big into traveling. I don't like to sit still very long. Although I've been sitting still now for a couple months just because the world's on fire and I would rather be safe at my home.
Right.
But I am going to Japan. I am taking my son to Japan. Um, and that is going to be epic. That is something we've been really looking forward to. We've been all over together. I started traveling with him when he was 8. Like I first took him his first international trip was when he was 8, and since then we've been everywhere. But Japan is one of those ones that like is bucket list for him and I. And the
Mhm.
fact that he's getting so old now,
It's so old.
he's so old. He'll be 21. By the time we're in Japan, he'll be 21.
Wow.
I'm gonna cry every day. I'm gonna cry every day. But the fact that he's getting older and he's like starting to develop his own life, his own friends, and he doesn't want his mom around all the time. Like I'm actually surprised even now that he still wants to have his birthday dinner. Cause I'm like,
That's
y'all
good.
still think I'm cool? Great. I love that for me.
Yeah.
But I fully expect it to change sooner than later. And so that's something like that is something I'm really looking forward to doing with him. So
Okay. Nice. And for the business, or you just don't worry about it right now?
I have a lot going on for my business right now. Some things I cannot share
Okay.
until 20, well, will this be out? I have something that's happening very soon with my business that I can't share just yet.
All right.
2026 is going to be a very good year for Bell Financial Services.
Right.
So I'm leaning all the way into doing many, many more workshops with many different organizations. There are going to be a lot more of the webinars that we talked about, like the Reset Your Budget one that I did. I plan on doing a webinar at least quarterly, that is going to be free to all, just to give people hope and motivation of how they can really take tangible steps to take care of their money. But a lot of great stuff is happening with the
Nice.
company. I'm very excited about.
Well, I'll definitely be following and cheering you on the
I love that.
sidelines.
I appreciate it. I cheer you on too.
I know you. I greatly appreciate it, of course. So you ready for the final four, or you have anything before we dive into the final four
We can
questions?
dive into the final four. I'm always ready.
Okay. Number one, what's your one belief about money or even confidence that you've recently changed?
Let's see. Okay. This is gonna sound crazy. Okay. I'm someone who I've had a lot of financial trauma, whole other story. Okay. But I've always been someone who I just never think enough is enough. Even when I feel accomplished and I have money in the bank, I have investments, things like that. I've always struggled with the feeling of like, oh my God, what if something happens? What if I'm out on the street tomorrow? Recently, though, and it took some therapy, it took some therapy, and it took just having like an honest conversation with someone that I look up to. Recently, I have changed my mindset about that because, especially with the things that have happened in this country this year and how volatile things are, I have come to realize that I am number one, I've always known that I'm blessed. I call myself God's favorite all the time because I truly believe like the Lord loves me, Jesus. He loves me and I love him too. But I've decided to stop operating and thinking from a standpoint of financial trauma. And the way that I view my finances, the way that I make financial decisions is more so out of gratitude than anything. Because I know no matter what happens, I'm always going to be okay. Like I truly believe that. And it literally took me just like recently to even be able to say like, I'm cool. Like I'm good. I don't have to trip about things because I have been living what I preach for years. And I know that my financial mindset is a positive one. I got to let go of that trauma.
Right.
We got to get past it.
Cool. I mean, shout out to all the therapists that are out there that listen.
No, really. My therapist, bomb. It's the greatest.
Yeah, I might have to bring my therapist back on. Well,
You
not my
should.
therapist. I'll bring a therapist
You should
back
bring a
on.
therapist on.
I mean, she's been on a couple times.
I'm a very big advocate for therapy.
Okay.
Very big.
All right. I'll see if I can see if I can find her to come back on or find somebody else if they want
Yeah.
to come in. All right. Number two. Since you last visited, what's one challenge you've overcome that made you a stronger version of yourself?
One challenge that I've overcome, this is one I don't think I have shared with many people at all. Okay, I'm a mom before anything, and recently in the past year, my son has decided that he wants to pivot away from what I wanted his future to be. Um, which I really love the fact that my son is brave and ambitious and definitely his mother's son. But from a parental standpoint, just wanting what's best for him, what I think is best for him, and not wanting him to necessarily deal with some of the challenges that I dealt with when I was his age. I have a hard time conforming to things when they aren't what I want when it comes to him. But recently, like, I mean, he literally came to me and told me that he just wanted to go in a completely different direction than the path that he was on from just like an education and career standpoint. He had a great case built for himself. I got to give him that. Like, he really put thought and effort into all of it before he even brought it to me. And I didn't react the best in the moment. It's fine. We still growing. But over time, I have gotten comfortable with the path that he's now on. Um, it definitely took a lot though for me to overcome because again, I just want what's best for him. But I've learned that what I see as what's being best for him doesn't necessarily always fit with what he wants. And I have to let him find his own way, of course, just like I did. So yeah, I overcame that. And now, yeah, I'm cheering him on every step of the way. And
That's
it's
good.
cool for him to be like finding himself through this journey. It's cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's growth, really.
Yeah. He's grown a lot in this past year. I always tell him, like, you're so much further along than I was when I was your age. And then he'll be like, but no, you had a whole kid when you were my age. I'm like,
True.
you're right. Right.
Number 3. What's one actionable tip that you'll give the sandwich generation to practice this week to protect their peace and their pockets?
One, let's see, to protect your peace in your pockets, I would say if you can, and whether you are someone who saves consistently or whether you're someone who doesn't save consistently, if you can make a contribution to a savings account this week and leave it there, I promise you, you will feel like you have done something to like empower yourself from a financial standpoint. So, I think that especially with the economy the way that it is and everything being on fire, it is very important that we are saving more than ever. And so if you are someone that you can make a contribution to your savings account, do it. If you're someone who can automate a contribution to your savings account, whether it's every time you get paid or once a month, I would say do it.
I like that. That's a great, nice, easy tip. Number 4, if you could leave us with a note to your future self, what would you want her to remember?
A note to my future self. I would just say, you got this, girl. Listen, I am an overthinker. But this phase of life that I'm in, I'm about to be 40. Oh, Lord. I'm going to be
You
40
can't even
sooner.
say it. You can't
I'm
say
going to be 40 sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us dread going into that next stage of life. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on the number because I don't feel like I'm about to be 40. That's the thing. But I am excited for what's to come in this next phase. Like, I really, honestly, truly believe that my future is so bright. And I know future me is that girl.
There you go.
I know she's that girl. And I just, like, I always believe, like, I can do anything I set my mind to. And I think that more of us need to truly believe that. And that doesn't necessarily mean, like, set crazy, like, a crazy goals for yourself that don't make any sense. But I do believe in manifestation. And I do believe that anything I say I can do it. As long as I put the work in, I can accomplish anything. So future me is a happy girl because she got it. She got it.
Okay. Love it, love it, love it. So the very last question of the show, which is, where could people find out more about you?
Okay, a couple of different things. So my website, of course, is bellefinancialservices.com. Belle is spelled Belle. Some people leave off the E and be like, why can't I find you? Spell my name right. So Belle Financial Services is the best way to find out all information about my coaching programs. Or if you are an organization that wants to, you want me to speak at your organization, do a workshop, all information is on the website. I also have a newsletter. If you go to the website, you can sign up to become a part of the newsletter community. I'm on Instagram, Belle Financial Services. Facebook is Belle Financial Services. Social media is a lot, but they're there.
Right. You have it locked in so nobody else can impersonate you. I got you.
Yeah. So yeah. That's me, though. Belle Financial Services everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Wanda. This has been an amazing time, as always. Yes, you're more than welcome.
I love coming and spending time on this show. So thank you for having me. And we're going to do it live at some point.
Yes, we're going to do it live. Yes. Then we're going to make this work. All right. So for you who are listening, please make sure you follow. Make sure that you remember that you can only put on one shoe at a time. If you try to put them both on, you can hurt yourself. All right? Y'all be safe. We out. Peace.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. What is one belief about money or confidence that you recently changed your mind? So,
Try again.
yes. This is my rewind. Number 1. What's one belief about money or confidence that you've recently changed about your mind? What, change your mind?
What?
Okay, this horrible question. Let me do this again. My edits, visual edit.